Hey yo, what's going on, guys? It is your boy ProtoTronix here. Today we are beginning a new podcast series with my friends. We're going to introduce ourselves. Like I said, I'm ProtoTronix. Next up, we got Marcos, aka Moxie Boost. What's going on?
Hey, I run a YouTube channel, but don't call me Moxie Boosted because that's the name of the YouTube channel. Actually, I really don't care what people call me. Like, I always make this joke in my channel. I'm like, don't call me Moxie Boosted. My name's Marcos.
Alrighty then.
Hey, Jack, how's it going?
Hey, Marcos, dude. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm here. Hi. Brandon, up to you now.
Whoa,
Oh,
that's all the introduction?
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that's
I'm
right.
Brandon. I'm just a dead YouTube channel who's trying to get back up by getting a job finally and getting
Hey.
equipment. So, hooray.
Equipment
Nothing
is
wrong with
nice.
some employment.
Welcome to the podcast.
I think that makes Jack the only one here that's going to be unemployed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
unemployed. Oh,
Dang.
unemployed.
Stop.
It's all about the education, right, Jack?
Yeah, totally. Ooh.
Okay.
Alrighty. Anyway,
We're a
guys, back.
VGC podcast, not a state of unemployment podcast.
Damn.
Which we're doing terrible with this podcast. Apparently, our current unemployment rate in the podcast is 25%.
Screw you.
Wow. That is true. Anyway, moving on though. Back to the podcast itself, I guess. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, because this is the first episode, obviously, this is a podcast dedicated to VGC content, specifically VGC news, what's going on, current tournaments, etc., etc. And Nats is coming up later this week, so we thought we'd talk about the current state of the meta, players going in, etc., etc. So let's jump right in. So, to the crew of the podcast, what do y'all think of the current state of the meta? Does it need to be refined? What do you think? Anything like that?
It's beautiful. Choice band Arcanine's falling out. It's beautiful. I mean, Arcanine's everywhere. That's the only thing. Like, last format? Not last format. The two formats before that, it was Mega Kangaskhan everywhere. And Mega Kangaskhan has, like, absolutely, like, no particular counter except for maybe a nice ghost type.
Blaziken.
And something
Elder. That works
something-
well.
something bulky. But, like, with Arcanine, there are so many counters to it. It's just such a healthy Pokemon that you kind of have to run it on your team. And it's not broken. It's not Mega Kangaskhan. You can't slap it on every team. It's
True.
just its own good Pokemon. And there are a lot of Pokemon in the format like that where, like, it's run on a lot of teams, but you can't forget. What is it? It's not particularly a threat on every team, but it's on a lot of teams. Sort of like Kartana. There's never been a Pokemon before like Kartana where it's just such a good Pokemon that you have to prep for it on every team. You see crazy things like Hidden Power, Fire, Tapu Bulu, and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a broken Pokemon. It's just so good that you can't forget about it.
Wait, Hidden Power Fire Tapu Bulu?
Yeah, that's a thing now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought like Hidden Power Fire Coco was a thing.
Oh, Bulu's more common now, apparently.
Well, I think
Oh,
that's
man.
because it's a bit more bulky, and that would be my
Wait,
best
I'm
guess.
actually gonna search this up.
It lives a Smart Strike pretty easily, but the reason you run Tapu Bulu with Hidden Power Fire is so you don't have to run Super Power.
That's true.
Because it lowers your attack.
Yeah.
If it's Focus Sash, it doesn't even knock it
Yeah.
out.
And
And you already have grass coverage for rock types.
And going back to the Arcanine real quickly, I completely agree. And unlike Kangaskhan, which was always just an offensive mon that would run mostly pure power attack, except for the occasional fake out, of course, Arcanine, it's so diverse. So you have some that are more offensive, you have some that are more supportive, like you have Will-O-Wisp, Snarl, things like that. So and you have a huge move pool to choose from. So it's not gonna, even though like it's on every team per se, like Marcus said, unlike Kangaskhan, there's a lot of ways you can run it. Plus, it has such a great move pool.
Yeah, honestly, I remember when Snarl was like on every single Arcanine, but now if you look at the usage, it's dropped down to like 25% of Arcanines.
I still use Snarl.
It's like 21%, I think, on the global link.
Let's see.
Actually, I'm gonna search it up.
21.4, actually, I have it up right now.
Yeah, okay, so I was right. Okay, cool. That
Well,
was
off by 0.4, but yeah, close enough. All right, what about you, Brandon?
Well, I think
He
the
hates it.
meta. I think the meta is kind of much better. It's more. It's not dying as some people say. You know what? That's why I think meta is growing a little bit better than last year. Much better than last year.
Last year was so bad.
Last year was
Last
a
year,
little
there
bit
were 4
weird.
Pokemon.
Yes, there was just Xerneas, Groudon, Kyogre, and it's very
Rayquaza.
crazy.
Once in a while,
Kangaskhan,
Yveltal.
Salamence, also Smirtle too.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
And
But
Bronzong. Good stuff.
what I ran last year was just Sceptile and Kyogre. That's basically what I felt was viable in my opinion, because it's just you have Lightning Rod on Sceptile and you have Kyogre right next to you, or you just have a Tailwind behind you and you just need to kick ass. You
don't get hurt by thunder at all.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't get nothing. But the only thing that makes it hurt is just Groudon. So I have to waste. I have to waste a turn of using Grass Knot, then Ice Beam, and then oh my god, I can't do it. So I think this meta is much better. It's more fun than last year.
Yeah.
Even I just wanted to thank Jack for giving me his wonderful team.
Oh.
Yeah, Jack.
But the only thing I didn't like about the mid-season showdown I went to is just I got so many crits. All right, they need to nerf them again. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Okay, so if I can add them all together, I had 29 crits against me.
Oh.
Around 29 crits against me, because I lived the crit. I died to a crit.
That's 1/16th chance, Brent.
This is so stupid. I hate everything. So once I get back to a mid-season showdown, I'm gonna get back to that.
Just run Leaf Blade on everything.
Yes, choice. Not choice.
Scope lens.
Scope lens. Just scope lens everything.
You gotta run
and
scope lens, Honchcrow.
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
Oh no! See, and if you're tired of critical hits, you just gotta run Pokemon like Battle Armor, Shell Armor, something like that. That way you don't get the crits.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I miss you, Mega Slowbro. I miss you, man.
Mega Slowbro.
He was so good.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm looking at the Global Link page right now for the top 10 most used Pokemon. Why is Tapu Koko still number 2?
Because Tapu Koko's good.
Well,
I mean, I know it's a generally good Pokemon, like how I was talking about with Kartana and Arcanine, but the thing is, it doesn't hit anything very hard anymore. At least in the top 10. The top 10, it only hits 2 things.
The thing that I think that makes Tapu Koko so good is the fact that it learns so many different moves. It gets Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Discharge, Dazzling Gleam. As you mentioned before, it gets Hidden Power Fire, so you could use that to counter stuff like Kartana. Thunderbolt you could use to counter Finny, Celesteela. You could also run Taunt on it.
Once in a while.
Yeah, also you have Dazzling Leap for Garchomp. You could also run Taunt on it to stop Porygon 2 from setting up Trick Room. You could taunt Snorlax to stop it from just cursing all over your belly drumming and recycling. So it's
more of
not
a utility
necessarily
one.
great Yeah,
it used to be the big offensive threat. Now it's hey, Assault Vest or utility.
The thing is, 95 special attack is not that good. So I think people are now leaning more towards this, bulkier Tapu Koko, like an Assault Vest one. Of course, you can't run Taunt on Assault Vest Koko, but you can run Nature's Madness to have opponents' HP. So I think it's pretty good just because of the fact that you could use it for utility or offense. But that's my opinion on it.
I really like this one combo I used a while back. It was Nature's Madness Tapu Koko with the Kartana next to it. That thing just straight up kills Porygons together.
Yeah, you just sort it and Nature's Madness.
Yeah.
All right, Jack. So just speaking about Tapu Kokos, you know what happened yesterday?
What?
All right. So you know how, okay, we were talking about hidden power, right?
Yeah, fire or ice.
Hidden power grass.
Grass. You can run grass on
hold on.
Koko.
All right. I thought this was about competitive Pokemon.
And
yeah.
This is just stupid.
It gets Grass Knot.
Dude, but it gets grass.
What are you gonna use it on?
I
Gastrodon
don't listen.
only.
I don't. Yeah, I hate it.
Maybe.
I encountered it yesterday. I just didn't.
What was the guy's ranking? Like a 1300?
17, 16,
What?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know.
It's not on it. It's so much.
He's
better.
ahead of his time.
He's ahead of his time. He's like, but
living in 3017.
What else are we going to talk about? So we talked about Arcanine, which was Choice Band, beginning of the meta.
Choice Band, Fire MZ, all that jazz.
I don't want to remember anything of that. Please don't remember me. Remember
A
me.
Guavberry.
Oh my! Stop! No! Stop!
Honestly, Arcanine's just. There are so many Pokemon in this meta that aren't broken, but just useful. It's so
Definitely.
good.
You got the Guardian deities, so you got Arcanine, you got the Ultra Beast. Not
Oh
including
yes,
Lord,
speaking of the Guardian deities, the synergy that they cause is so good. In my opinion, like Tapu Lele and Tapu Bulu are the best synergy-wise. Like Tapu Koko really only syncs up with either Xurkitree or Raichu, but they don't really. They have the same weaknesses as Tapu Koko, so it isn't amazing.
I mean,
where with Tapu Bulu, you can help like Gigalith, you can help Nihilego so much.
Yeah, quick I don't know. I really like pairing up Tapu Koko with Rain, particularly either Pelipper or Politoed.
Just drop Thunders.
No, I don't necessarily run Thunder on it, just in case my opponent has a way to switch up the weather, because Pelipper is going to be faster than stuff like Gigalith and Torkoal, which is still, like, Gigalith and Torkoal are going to be slower than Pelipper, so they're going to get up the weather next, so I don't really run Thunder on it. I don't run Ice Beam on Pelipper. What I run is Hurricane, Tailwind, Scald, and Brine, because Brine is based on the user's HP, so if they have less than half their HP, it does double the damage.
Ooh, do you run Nature's Madness, Tapu Koko?
I might. Yeah, but I don't know. I really like Koko with Rain or Koko Lele.
On Nature's Madness, real quickly, personally, I run it on Tapu Lele, but what's great about it is like you can put on a more bulky mon of one of the deities like Bulu or split out Lele. Personally, I like to run Scarf on it because then immediately you got a bulky mon that takes up half the HP. And then just have a less bulky, a less fast mon, I guess you should say, and then they can take it out and completely mess up damage calcs. So I think that's another reason the deities are so good, just access to moves like that.
Yeah, they get a lot of support options, which is good. Also, Disable Tapu Bulu has been picking up in popularity because Andrew Nowak won Madison with it, right? Was
so
it Madison?
good.
Yeah, it was Madison, I think.
I use that all the time. I have a Tapu Bulu next to a Talonflame, and what I really love doing is protect Tailwind when they have an obvious move coming out onto Tapu Bulu, and then the next turn I outspeed, so I just disable that, and they have no momentum. They're like, what happens? What's disable? I haven't seen that since Hypno and Fire Red.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Or disable Mega Gengar back in 2015 with Perish Trap.
Disable actually isn't even on the top 10 for usage in moves.
Wait, what's in the top 10?
Not in the top 10 for Bulu. Disable.
More people are running Swords Dance than Disable.
Why? What?
Yeah, but what do you guys what do you guys think is going to win Internats though?
Steel types.
Oh yeah, Steel types.
Steel's obvious.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. The team will have a Tapu Bulu and a Metagross.
There you go.
I mean, I think there was a team at Japanese Nationals that got top 8 with that, or
with Zarina.
I think the team that won, I think, had an Assault Vest Metagross. It also had Serena on it, which was pretty cool. But
but it lost the mid-season showdown.
If it's any Steel type, it's gonna be Togedemaru.
Oh yeah.
There's so many good options. Kartana, Celesteela, Metagross, Togedemaru. I think a lot of people sleep on. I think a lot of people sleep on Scissor though.
I don't know. Scissor just lost a lot of viability because its special defense is amazing, and there are so many hard-hitting special attackers in this meta. And with Psychic Terrain running around, it's hard for Scissor really to get anything done unless it's running an Assault Vest set, really. But that's not even that great.
Yeah,
I've been running to specifically counter Lele and Bulu, because I'm running on this team that's kind of memey. I mean, I'm using a Breakneck Blitz Porygon Z team with a Toy Scarf.
The dream meme team.
Please, Jack, you think you run meme teams? I am literally the meme specialist.
I mean, you ran Relican't
for VGC. I also ran Gumshoes, and that team got me up.
Honestly, I really hope that I see Muck in top 8.
Yeah.
That's what I really want to see the most.
So Muck. 7.
Yeah, Muck's been kind of dropping off a little. It's at 11th, which is still good, but it's been dropping a little bit.
Yeah, and what I like about Muck, though, is just that Poison Dark typing. I mean, the synergy between those two typings is just so good.
Honestly, I was really excited for it. It's one of my favorite Pokemon in the format, and I'm upset I don't use them.
My ears just went nuts. Oh my god, Marco.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like the team that's gonna end up winning Internats is gonna be probably inspired by one of the teams that got top 8 at Japan.
And we've seen that in the past.
Yeah, like Ray Rizzo back in 2014, he was using a Swagger Thunderwave Zapdos, and that Zapdos, not necessarily the idea of running Thunderwave and Swagger, those ideas came from Thundurus, but he was running Zapdos because I think a Zapdos team ended up winning juniors and seniors at Japanese nationals that year. So I wouldn't be shocked if the team that wins or a team that gets top 8 is going to be inspired by that team that was like maybe a Choice Scarf Celesteela, which got top 8 at Japanese nationals, or Choice Scarf Coco, which also got top 8 at Japanese nationals. So
even 2015, I remember being there. I think Japan Nationals just happened, and it was Japan Sand. That's when that became a thing.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I remember Aaron saying, I believe he got top 4 that year in nationals, but he actually was using a Japan Sand team. So like you were using Ray's, a lot of Japan really does heavily inspire our nationals U.S. meta. I'm sorry, Internet's meta now.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's probably 2016 because the team that won Japanese nationals was a Rayquaza Groudon team, and the team that ended up winning our nationals wasn't even like relatively close to it. Like that team that won Japanese nationals also had a Sylveon and had some weird stuff, but the team that won our nationals had a Xerneas, Groudon, Bronzong, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You were saying that, Marcos?
I was gonna say, I don't think there's ever been a Pokemon like Tapu Bulu where you can literally run one type of attack and it hits things so hard. Because I've been seeing Swords Dance mono grass attacking, and I'm pretty sure after a Swords Dance, it still does like 30% to Celesteela with Wood Hammer.
Jesus.
Oh,
That's
man.
so much.
Right, I'm just on Showdown right now appreciating Tapu Bulu. Like, if Tapu Bulu was a woman, I'd respect it hard.
Oh my god. If Tapu Bulu had a gender,
Ay caramba.
Anything that people are like sleeping on, like a specific mon?
I think I said this before the podcast started, but like, I really liked Madison Regionals because it was like, kids, what did we learn today? Don't sleep on Tapu Bulu. It was dude, the Nihilego. Honestly, Nihilego something to sleep on, or something not to sleep on. I mean, like,
yeah, it's pretty good.
You could like people tend to like expect Choice Scarf, but just because you can also run the Trick Room, it makes it kind of hard to tell, especially if they have like a mix of speed tiers on their team.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's another thing. Going back to the whole meta real quickly. Back in 2015, 2016, more 2015, most mons were predictable. Like if they were running a Kangaskhan, it was fast offense. If you were running Salamence, most of the time it was going to be a Mega. Like it was so predictable. But this format, it's so hard because, like you said, with Nihilego, I can't say that. Fast, slow, Arcanine, offensive, supportive, Tapu Koko. I almost said Tapu Cuckoo. Yikes! What is wrong with me today?
Yeah, it's also the same thing with Finny. I feel like because you could run Choice Specs, you could run a Wiki Berry, you could run Leftovers. Mm-hmm. There's just so much stuff that you can use. The only Pokemon that I feel like is predictable in this format is Porygon 2 because you're only going to ever see Eviolite on it.
You know what? The only Porygon 2 that I don't predict is the Protect Porygon. That's the only tech. The only tech possible is Protect.
Yeah, that's the only one that's out there, but it's used so little that like you're not going to run into it most of the time. But I feel like a lot of people do sleep on. As I mentioned before, I mentioned Scizor. I don't think I mentioned Buzzwole. I think a lot of people overlook it too.
That base attack though.
Yeah, it's so strong. I also think people overlook bulky Tapu Koko a lot. Not necessarily Assault Vest, but bulky like Specs Koko. I think a lot of people overlook. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this format that I feel. Oh, also Politoed. It's not even in the top 30 most used Pokemon, and I think I personally like it more than Pelipper. So
the only reason it's not top 30 is because it doesn't get Helping Hand anymore, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't get Icy Wind, I think, at this point. But one thing that I do like about it is that it gets Perish Trap, or Perish Song, not Perish Trap. Sorry.
Oh man.
You guys want to talk about the starters and their hitting abilities? Because that's all I want.
Intimidate Incineroar will run the next meta.
No, Primarina and the Liquid Voice, boy, let's go.
Liquid Voice is such a bad ability.
No,
all right,
it's a good ability.
It's not water type. It's not water type Aerolite. It's not. It doesn't give it a boost.
Have any of you guys run into that pledge team with Primarina and Decidueye where they Choice Scarf Decidueye and then split your speed in half by using the pledge thing with Grass Pledge and Water Pledge?
Oh, me and Jack did that.
That sounds like a meme.
It's the best thing ever on Showdown.
I ran into it. It's pretty solid. I feel like Incineroar also a lot of people overlook too, but I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in this format.
Honestly, I was disappointed with this. Oh, sorry.
The most overlooked Pokemon. Definitely Talonflame.
Yeah.
Oh, Talonflame too. I almost forgot to mention that.
I mean, it did get heavily nerfed this year. I mean, somewhat nerfed because, its priority is only when it's at full health. But, I mean, that still lets you get a Tailwind or an early Brave Bird if you really want to. Plus, its base speed is already so good.
Yeah. It's you can outspeed base 117s like Salazzle with it. If you really want to, even though it's not common, you could outspeed Alakazam.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did with my Talonflame when I used it on a Showdown. I made it outspeed Alakazam because my team for some reason just couldn't beat it. Because there was one guy in the 1700s on Showdown with it that was destroying me with it. But yeah, I think a lot of people overlook Talonflame as well. So.
I'd like to share this. I'm pretty sure Adamant Flare Blitz with max attack still OHKOs Tapu Lele from Talonflame.
Yeah, but what do you think, Noah, about Talonflame?
I really loved it in 2015. I used it a lot. What I'll miss about it, though, is under Trick Room, the ability to still move first with that priority. But moving on with today, especially today's format, I like that they kind of nerfed it just because it's more balanced. I like it. I'm a pretty straightforward guy. I like it for a Tailwind setup and easy KOs with like Brave Bird and Flare Blitz. But I also like the support options as well other than Tailwind. You have access to things like Will-O-Wisp so you can shut down physical attackers real quickly. I think it's definitely overlooked, but I feel like that the reason a lot of people aren't using it is you got mons like Coco, Arcanine. I feel like overshadows it pretty much.
Wild Charge.
And then you have mons like Coco and Garchomp, which pretty much scare it.
The top 3 mons all beat it, which is why a lot of people probably aren't using it.
Well, and the thing is, if you look at the top 3 mons, there's so good synergy between the 3. I mean, it's really hard to find a single weakness between them. Yeah. It's like you're gonna use Earth.
Oh man, this is so good. The top 3.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you want to make a VGC team, you could honestly put those top 3 in there, and then from there you got half your team. Honestly.
Yeah.
Obviously, just make sure you have Protect on one of them, otherwise you can be killing yourself.
Yeah. No, definitely.
But I don't know. I feel Garchomp, I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's a little overrated in the format. Just because it loses to, just because it loses to so many common things like Lele, Finny, Porygon too. Well, if the Lele's not bulky, then the Lele loses unless it's scarfed or something. But I run bulky Lele, so Garchomp can't one-shot it with Tectonic Rage. But it just loses to a lot of common stuff, and I feel like a lot of people, because if you look at regionals that have happened in the United States, it's only won 2 out of the 10 regionals that's happened this year, which is 20%.
Yeah.
And considering the fact that it's the 3rd most used Pokemon and it's only won 20% of regionals, that's a terrible statistic. And I feel like a lot of people just don't acknowledge that. So I feel like Garchomp probably won't win Internats. If it does, I'll be slightly surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if it gets top 8 though, but I feel like it's a little overrated as a mon.
I feel like the reason we have Garchomp is people miss Landorus. I feel like people really enjoy the ability to have a Scarf Rock Slide user and just flinch all day long. And I feel like Garchomp's just really there to be the rebound mon in this case. I mean, if you look at it, half the time it's using Ground EMZ. The second most used, which is still only about 26% of the time, is Choice Scarf. And if you go to the moves, Rock Slide's used more than half of the time. So I feel like if you're not using it for a Ground EMZ Earthquake user, you're using it as a Scarf Rock Slide user, and you're really there just to hope that RNG works in your favor.
Yeah. Also, the other thing about Garchomp is that people, and not a lot of people, but some people do run Fire Fang on it to counter stuff like Kartana and Celesteela. Mm-hmm. But I think 32% of people run it, if I remember the statistic. Do you have a...
Yeah, I have a 32.4. So yeah, you're right.
Okay, yeah, so I was right. Because I remember seeing that statistic. The thing is, if you have only 20 HP and 20 defensive Kartana, it has I think Fire Fang from Jolly Nature Max Tech Garchomp only has a 6.3% chance of KOing. And that's with very minimal bulk. So that's not a very good statistic. Also, Fire Fang is really bad against Celesteela because people are like, oh yeah, it's Celesteela's weak to fire, but Celesteela's bulk is just so good that it could stall you out with Leech Seed with Garchomp.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like a lot of stuff do wall it in the format. I already mentioned the Lele, Finny, and Porygon, but also Celesteela could wall it. Pheromosa doesn't wall it, but it could Ice Beam it to death. Ninetales, Sandslash, Pelipper, Golduck, Politoed, even though not a lot of people are running that. Driploom could Will-O-Wisp it. Mimikyu has the disguise up. Gyarados could set up in your face. And then you have PZ, Gastrodon, Buzzwole. So there's just a lot of stuff that I feel like it doesn't have favorable matchups against.
Definitely. You mentioned Gyarados. Do you guys want to talk about that real quickly?
Gyarados. The
Gyarados
only Gyarados set I respect is Water MZ Gyarados.
There you go.
I'm running
It is
Citrus Berry.
so good.
When I first started, so I've been out of VGC for about eight months, getting back into it. But when my favorite team I've ever made was Water MZ, like you said. What I like to do was I would run the standard set: Waterfall, D-Dance, Protect, and Ice Fang. But what I love about it is you could actually run max attack and still have some bulk to it, so it could take a lot of non-super effective attacks. Then let's be honest, its only super effective weakness is really electric types in this format, because Intimidate pretty much negates Rock Slide as being that big of a threat. But I mean, you get Dragon set up, you're gonna with even 100 speed Adamant, you can outspeed quite a bit, and they get that Water MZ Waterfall, and you're gonna nuke most things already.
Yeah, what I've been doing is I've been running it on this team that I lent to my friend. I'm not going to mention too much about it because I don't know if my friend's bringing it to a regional or not. But I've been running Jolly, Max Speed, Max Attack, and I've been running Waterfall, Dragon Dance, Protect, and instead of Ice Fang, I've been running Taunt. Because a lot of people do get worried with Garchomp after you get up a Dragon Dance, and they just switch it out because they expect Ice Fang, but then I reveal the Taunt and stop something like Porygon 2 from setting up Trick Room. Of course, it doesn't work as well on Mimikyu or Rangaroo because they could be carrying Mental Herb. I don't know. I really like Taunt on Gyarados.
I do like that. I mean, the biggest thing for Ice Fang is obviously Garchomp, but most Garchomp players, I guess, would expect an Ice Fang, so they'd be hesitant already.
So they switch it out or Protect.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. What about your opinion on it, Brandon?
No opinion. Not yet.
No opinion?
Not yet?
I have nothing to talk about.
Can we talk about the
nothing
recent
to talk
rise in
about.
toxic
You guys-
usage?
Yeah.
Oh, on Porygon 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Porygon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
it's been around for a while, but I think it's just recently kind of gone up a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's the fifth most used, like 18.9%, which means basically 1 in 5 players are using it, which is, I think, more than we've ever had, and especially in a VGC format. I'm guessing...
It's mostly for... It's literally just for other Porygons.
Yeah, right? And I guess that's pretty much it. But I guess this is probably one of the most defensive formats we've had in a while.
Oh, definitely.
So
it doesn't stall. It doesn't like...
No.
Oh man, what was the stalliest format? Was it 14? No, 13.
No.
It was... Yeah, I think 13.
The thing is, stall hasn't never really found success in VGC, not including 2009, because in that...
yes,
no, but the thing is, back in 2010, I mean, I wasn't around, but what I heard is that there was 3 common cores of teams. Either hyper offense, what was the other core?
Hyper defense?
I forget what the other core was. But one of the cores was a stalling core that people used back in 2010. And it hasn't found much success since 2010 until this year. Like, even though like you can't run your team full blown stall, you are starting to see people running Toxic Porygon 2. Some people are running Toxic on their Gastrodon. People are running Leech Seed on Celesteela. So there is some very stally Pokemon in the format. Also Snorlax too. You don't necessarily, like, with Snorlax you just recycle Curse and then keep on following that process, and then you're going to, the next thing you know, you're at +6 in defense and attack. So
careful, you don't want to sound too much like Felicify.
Oh boy.
But I do think it's funny that this is one of the most defensive formats, especially with the change they made to the timer, like how that new mechanic works.
I love it.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting. The fact
like
that
if we had
the most we've seen stall in the last 7 years, and it's when the timer is mostly against stall ever.
Yeah, like that's why 2015, like if you ran into something like Chansey, which most of the time you won't, but there was like 1 or 2 people probably in 1800s. I never saw one when I was playing 2015. But if you ran into stall in 2015, all you did was just use a timer and just stall them out. But you can't do that this year, so you have to be very careful about it, because it could really blow you out of the water if you're not paying attention.
You know, honestly, my favorite thing about this format is Dark Void Smeargle is no longer a thing.
Yeah,
oh my god!
Hey,
but Smeargle's still a thing, and it's still moody.
Oh yeah.
there you go.
Hey, but the thing is, like, you could run Spore and Smeargle, but you can stop it with Tapu Koko's Electric Terrain or Tapu Finney's Misty Terrain.
Mm-hmm.
So Smeargle is certainly not as good as what it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
So you can stop the sleep, but it still gets really annoying moves like Wide Guard. You can run Endeavor on it. I haven't seen that yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if there is that one guy out there running it.
Running what?
So you still have to be careful. Endeavor.
15.7% of players use it. It's the sixth most used move.
Yeah, like I haven't ran into it yet, but I wouldn't be shocked.
I'm surprised Explosion is actually one it uses. I mean, I know it's stab, but I mean, Smeagol just doesn't have really good base stats, like at all. Maybe they're expecting like Moody Explosion. Hope you get that +2 attack. Maybe.
Wait, what are we talking about? Has Explosion?
Smeagol.
Oh.
I mean, Smeagol has everything, but I'm surprised that it's set, like basically about 1 in 10 players use it. That's a little less than that, but that's surprising still.
Yeah.
You know what I really love? Tapu Koko is at 200 base speed. That's its max base speed at level 50. So everyone just knows what number to shoot for 201 when they're speed creeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I just make my Koko at speed base 110s, just because I still have some bulk, so I could beat other Kokos with it.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I think we're at a good stopping point.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So what do you guys think is going to win internationals after this whole conversation?
Tapu Bulu's there, without a doubt.
What about you, Noah?
I think I'm going to see a more bulky variant team with Arcanine, Koko, and I want to say either Muck or Gigalith. That's what I want to see, like something bulky like that.
Yeah. What about you, Brandon?
Steel types.
Steel types?
Tokenomaru, Assault Vest, Cortana. So I just want to see how that goes. So yeah.
Personally, I think it's going to be a team inspired by Japanese nationals, which happened 2 weekends ago or 3 weekends ago.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 weeks.
2 weeks ago. I feel like there is going to be a team inspired from that is going to win U.S. Nats. Just because of looking at prior years, that's what usually happens.
Or at least top 4. At least top 4.
Yeah, at least top 4. If not, then top 8. But I feel like there's going to be that one team, not necessarily using Serena, but you may run into a Scarf Coco team, which got top 8 at Nats, or a Scarf Celesteela team.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually how I see is that the insane stuff tends to win. If you just look at like prior World Championships or Nationals. Well, not necessarily Nationals, but World Championships. But
remember 2015?
2015 was
that was awful.
Yeah.
Japan destroyed that year.
Oh yeah,
I think 7 of the top 8 people were Japanese.
Yep. I think we had one. I think the other guy was from Germany, I believe.
Yeah, I think his name was Laios or something.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I had to deal with all these same teams. Why?
Yeah. So do you guys want to end it here?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think we've done our closing remarks. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Again, this is the first episode. We will be doing bi-weekly episodes, so we'll do one after Nationals and then pre-Worlds and post-Worlds and, of course, into the 2018 series. So if you guys will stick around and join us for that. We will also be uploading this in rotation style. So first episode will be on my channel. Next episode will be on Marcos. After that, Jax, and then Brandon's. And we're going to continue that cycle so we can all share with our subscribers the awesome content we're making. Anyway, guys, thank you again for joining us. And I hope you all have a great week, great day, and see you all in the next video. Bye, y'all.